As I'm sure all of you are aware, Fire Emblem Three Houses was announced at E3 last week. But could this be the game that we've all been waiting for Fire Emblem? Let's get into it. Fire Emblem Three Houses got me so excited. I was so excited when it was shown at E3. Let me tell you, this game looks fresh, and the approach to the combat and story contrasts greatly to what we've seen in games given before. Fire Emblem Three Houses marks a first for the series for a couple of things. For one, we can control our fleets on the battlefield aside from our character, and that's a nice surprise if you ask me, guys. That and the fact we can walk around in the overworld free, and I really feel like this game will deliver in the realm of story as well. And I know it feels way too early to tell that, but this game just looks so interesting as well. And who is this woman we see right here in the trailer? Who is her teacher, as she says? I look forward to learning about this as we move forward for sure. The name Three Houses almost gives me a Fates vibe, for obvious reasons, but even if this does float along a similar vein, I hope this will at least flesh out and be a little bit more detailed as well. If it is indeed three kingdoms at war, let's see what life is like way before said war. I hope we're not just thrown into the war like, here's what's going on, here's who we are, here's who we hate, and let's go fight. But again, this is merely just a presumption based upon the name alone. For all I know, this could be a story told from one perspective and could be straightforward, but this just looks like a much broader game in scope. You know, I have to say, I never thought Fire Emblem would deviate from their combat formula after such a long time. Sure, I mentioned it in prior videos, and while I thought it would be a nice step in direction for the series, I was completely floored when I actually seen it take place. Now sure, it's not a massive, huge departure from the gameplay style before, but it is nice to have seen it made for a console release, on the Switch no less. Fire Emblem was a series that kept to its core and stayed intact, and it didn't change things too much. Sure, there were slight alterations between the games, but for the most part, if you ever played one of the games, the rest of them, you would have felt right at home jumping in and playing those as well. Now, the fleets really have me interested in where this game is going to go. I feel like the battles will have more of a coordinated feel than ever before. Positioning your fleets in unison with your individual character movements will no doubt add both difficulty and overall strategic elements to this very title. I'm excited for the game due to this. The world, the conflict, and what's at stake will just appear much more broad because of this departure from the traditional Fire Emblem games. Another thing I noticed was the map in the beginning of the trailer, which to me begs the immediate question in regards to exactly how big this game will be. Fire Emblem Awakening would see players traveling the overworld on a predetermined path with no chance to journey outside of that. Think of 2D Mario games in this regard. Will Three Houses be more of an open experience, or will there be points on the map in which we have to follow yet again? I can't say I'd be devastated by either, but I do find it to be a valid question, especially given the fact that, like I said, we were able to actually walk around with our character, which is a huge freaking deal for this series. Never before have we actually been able to take a step outside and control our characters freely in a Fire Emblem game just like this. Now, we've seen a little bit of the gameplay, and that's all well and good, but I want to know how this game will work on a mechanics level, and by that I mean, what will the stats be like? How will the leveling happen? What will the classes be like? These are things we all need to see, because yes, while it is nice to see little things being improved upon and deviations made to cut away from things that we are already used to, bringing some freshness, there are also things that need to be implemented just because it's a Fire Emblem game in general. Honestly, that'll be a make or break for a lot of fans, myself included. Now, on this channel, we make a lot of videos about series going through changes and having little tweaks made or big tweaks made to series that really need them. I'm glad to see Fire Emblem doing this for a console that is doing so well for Nintendo, and who knows, this game might even bring in some new supporters as well, and that should always be the goal for these games, expansion on the highest level. Now, what I don't want to happen is to see the veteran Fire Emblem characters get mad or flustered about the new changes that the Fire Emblem series is making. Admittedly, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, man, that looks a little bit daunting because of how many units you had to move. And granted, it is a wave, so it should be pretty easy to get a hold of everything and keep everything in order. But to a Fire Emblem veteran, I can see how this change will be a little bit daunting coming from the history when we only had a couple characters on screen, or a few, like 5 or 6 at most, that you were keeping track of. Now it's a whole entire fleet. But if we just welcome this new thing, see how it plays out, I'm sure we will grow to love this as well. Because I don't think this will be the last time we're seeing this. And it looks interesting. Just don't be scared to try out new things, guys. That's the main thing. Don't be scared to try out new stuff, because you just might like it. The world of Fire Emblem Three Houses seems very interesting so far, and to be honest, given what we've seen already, the intro just leads me to wonder what this game will really be about. As I said, the world looks huge. The name itself hints at more than one perspective. Maybe we'll see these 3 different perspectives of the game, and I want to see how these will tie together in one single present. And I'm really looking forward to that. But let me know what you guys think about Fire Emblem Three Houses. Do you think this game will be 3 separate perspectives? Or do you think it'll just be one straight through story that's not too complicated or convoluted? Also, to that point, what do you guys think about the new combat system? How do you feel about the fleets? Do you feel like it's too much on the screen at once? Do you feel like you're going to lose track of what you're doing? Do you think it's a welcome change? Were you tired of the old way things were done? Let me know that in the comments below too. I want to see what you guys really think about Fire Emblem Three Houses, because this, I feel like, is going to be a game that's really, really good. But, of course, time will tell. As always, be sure to check in every Tuesday and Thursday here at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturdays, we got the podcast. My name is Logan of fanatixfour. It's been a pleasure, and it always is. I will see you guys on Saturday. Bye.